Imagine, just for a second, the most powerful thing inside any company. It's often invisible, right?
Mhm.
Not the buildings, not even the patents. It's the knowledge,
Yeah.
what everyone knows, how they share it, or how they don't.
Yeah, that collective intelligence, it really dictates whether a company, truly thrives or just stagnates.
Exactly. But how do you actually manage something so, well, fluid, so human? How do you make it an advantage, not a burden locked away somewhere?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It really is. And today, you and I are doing a deep dive into exactly that. We're looking at knowledge management and this whole idea of a learning organization.
Hi.
We've got some great source material, especially insights from Leila Vidal. She's the chief knowledge officer at a big multinational insurance firm.
Oh, interesting. And sure, that's a field where knowledge is absolutely critical. Risk, customers, regulations.
Precisely. Her perspective is, I think, really practical.
So our mission today, really, is to get beyond just the buzzwords. We want to explore what this organizational knowledge actually is, why sharing it is so much more than just, nice to have.
It's strategic.
It's absolutely strategic. We'll look at the tools, sure, but also the culture, the human side,
Yeah.
the roadblocks.
Yeah, the messy parts.
The messy parts.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can pull out some strategies for you to think about, whether you're leading a team or just navigating your own work, how to tap into that intellectual capital.
Okay, let's jump in. Leila Vidal really kicks things off with a fundamental point. She says, everything we do is based on knowledge of our customers, knowledge of our competitors, and so on.
Seems obvious, but it's profound.
It does. But let's unpack that a bit. What does it mean for knowledge to be the core? How is that different from just, I don't know, data or information? What's the takeaway for you listening?
Well, that's a great question, because Leila isn't just talking about, spreadsheets full of data. Data is just raw facts, right? Information is maybe that data organized.
Yeah.
But knowledge is applied information. It's understood in context. It's the how and the why.
Ah, okay. The application.
Exactly. So when she talks about knowledge of our customers, it's not just names and policy numbers. It's understanding their risks, their needs, why they make certain decisions, maybe even things they haven't articulated.
Deeper.
Much deeper. That's what gets called intellectual capital. It's like an asset, something you can actually grow and use.
Right, like financial capital, but intangible.
Precisely. And this isn't just insurance, obviously. Think about tech companies understanding user behavior, or a manufacturer knowing exactly how to tweak a production line.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's the difference, really, between just having puzzle pieces and actually knowing how to assemble the picture, and then using that picture to make smarter, forward-looking decisions, and lets you be proactive, not just reactive.
That distinction is so important. Data versus applied knowledge. Like having ingredients versus being a chef.
Good analogy, yeah.
So once you have this intellectual capital, this know-how, sharing it becomes critical. Leila points out how different parts of a big company, like subsidiaries in different countries, can really gain from each other's competencies and know-how.
Yeah.
Both the theory and the practical stuff. And she gives two big benefits. First, not having to reinvent the wheel. Building something that's already been done.
A classic problem.
Definitely. And second, it helps raise standards of efficiency to reach the best practices across the whole organization.
These sound like, pretty major advantages.
Oh, they're huge. They're really the foundation of why you do knowledge management in the first place. Let's dig into that competencies and know-how bit.
Okay.
It's not just sharing a manual. It's often about the tacit knowledge. The stuff that's hard to write down that comes from experience.
Right. The stuff people just know from doing the job. Exactly. Like a mentor passing things on, but scaled up. So if one office figures out how to launch a product in a really tricky market, sharing how they did it, the process, the pitfalls, the local tricks, that's pure gold for the others.
They can see that.
And avoiding reinventing the wheel. I mean, think about the waste. 5 different teams tackling the same problem independently.
So much time and money down the drain.
Totally. If one succeeds and shares it, the other 4 can adapt it, build on it, and focus their energy on the next challenge. That's massive efficiency.
And the best practices part.
That's about accelerating improvement. Maybe one region is lagging behind. Instead of them struggling for years, they can learn directly from the top performers. It's like getting a shortcut to excellence.
A leapfrog almost.
Yeah, exactly. It licks the whole organization up. So for you listening, it means realizing that learning often involves actively seeking out those who've already figured things out,
Don't be afraid to ask, basically.
or to look for where that knowledge might already exist.
Okay, so if knowledge is the lifeblood and sharing it is key for efficiency, how do companies actually make this happen? What are the mechanisms?
Right, the practicalities.
Leila Vidal mentions the company internet as a big one, but not just for finding the holiday schedule.
No, hopefully not just that.
She talks about accessing info on past projects, how they were run, costs, all that, even ideas that didn't get used, so employees can tap into this huge pool of information.
Yeah, the internet can be foundational. When it's done well, it's not just a filing cabinet. It's more like a dynamic hub.
Okay.
But what's really interesting and sort of implied in the source is how tools like this help build a learning organization.
Ah, that term again. What does that mean in practice?
It means creating an environment where learning, sharing, using knowledge isn't just like a nice idea. It's built into the culture. It's supported.
How so?
Well, the source mentions employees spending 10% of their time on training courses. That's not trivial. That's a real investment.
10% is significant, yeah.
And the idea of a central company university, using both internal managers, people with that practical know-how we talked about, and external trainers, that signals that learning is core, not peripheral.
So it's formalized.
It's formalized, it's strategic, it's likely focused on very specific skills relevant to their business, and it creates a shared understanding, common methods. It ensures knowledge is actively, cultivated and updated. It keeps that intellectual capital alive and growing.
Right, because knowledge isn't static. It evolves.
Yeah.
You need to keep refreshing it.
Constantly.
Okay, so you have the tools, the training structures. Sounds good on paper. But then we hit the human element. And Leila Vidal is pretty blunt about this.
Usually the trickiest part.
Yeah. She mentions fighting managers who think that they can enhance their power by hogging knowledge, keeping it to themselves.
The classic knowledge is power argument.
Exactly. Arguing, she says wrongly, that people only need info on a need-to-know basis. What does that mentality do to an organization?
Oh, that knowledge hogging. It's such a common and damaging dynamic. If you think about everything we just said, avoiding reinvention, sharing best practices, this need-to-know approach applied broadly just kills it.
How?
Well, sure, some things are confidential, but making it the default, it just stifles everything. Why do they do it? Sometimes insecurity, sometimes a misguided sense of control, thinking information is power, but it creates these knowledge silos.
Silos, right, where information gets trapped in one team or department.
Exactly. And those silos are poison. They lead to duplicated work because Team A has no idea Team B already solved that problem. Decisions get slowed down because the key info is stuck somewhere else. You lose out on those sparks that happen when different ideas bump into each other. The hidden costs are huge, missed opportunities, delays, frustrated employees who feel like they don't have the full picture.
So it undermines the whole learning organization idea.
Fundamentally, it basically tells people, we don't trust you with the bigger picture, just do your little piece. Overcoming it. That often takes real effort, tying sharing to performance, building trust, maybe formal mentoring.
It's a cultural battle, really.
A big one. It's fighting against a pretty ingrained human tendency sometimes.
And as if that wasn't enough, Leila points out another major hurdle, even when intentions are good. It's managing this knowledge and making it available in useful ways so that people aren't overwhelmed by information overload.
Ah, yes, the other side of the coin, the paradox of plenty.
Paradox of plenty, I like that. Having too much.
Exactly. You want to make lots of available reports, research, case studies, everything. But if you just dump it all out there without structure, without curation,
People drown.
they drown, or they spend all their time searching and sorting, not actually learning or doing. Imagine a library with no catalog, just piles of books everywhere.
You'd give up. Or grab the first thing you find, which might be wrong or outdated.
Precisely. People might make bad decisions because finding the right information was just too hard. It becomes a barrier, not a help.
So what's the solution then? How do you manage the flood?
Well, this is a constant challenge, right? It's not just about access. It's about access to actionable knowledge. Things need to be organized, searchable, ideally synthesized. Modern tools try to help better search, AI that connects related ideas, ways to find out who knows what
Finding the expert, not just the document.
Exactly. It's all about cutting through the noise, making sure the information helps people understand, not just confuses them.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, it feels like effective knowledge management is, well, way more than just buying some software.
Oh, absolutely. The tech is just an enabler.
It's really this strategic commitment across the board. You need the tools, yes, the intranets, the training, but maybe more importantly, you need that culture of sharing.
A willingness.
A dedication to keep learning and, crucially, tackling those human roadblocks head-on, the knowledge hoarding.
And the overload.
And the overload. It's about creating an ecosystem, really, where knowledge flows easily, making the whole organization smarter, faster, more resilient.
Well said. It really is an ecosystem. And maybe that leads to a final thought for you, the listener.
Okay.
Building on all this, the need to share to avoid duplication, but also the danger of too much information, maybe ask yourself, how could you, in your own work, your own life perhaps, be a bit more conscious about sharing what you know? A skill, a lesson learned, a better way of doing something.
Sharing strategically, perhaps.
Yeah, sharing to help others avoid reinventing that wheel. And on the flip side, how can you get better at managing the information you receive? How can you organize it, filter it so it actually helps you learn and make decisions instead of just becoming, well, more noise?
Interesting challenge. Sharing effectively and filtering effectively. Food for thought.